Hello everyone and welcome to another episode. In this episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking solely about morning routines, and today I'm joined by Paul Miners, who's a productivity blogger and expert, and I'm just going to quickly, for those who don't know, allow Paul to introduce himself.
Yeah, sure. My name is Paul Miners, and as Francesco said, I blog about productivity at paulminers.com. And yeah, I'm incredibly passionate about productivity, and my mission really is to just help as many people as I can to be more productive, so that together we can just get more out of life in terms of our work and our personal lives and our health, and that's what I'm all about, is just squeezing more out of life, and productivity is how I do that. So yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Fantastic. You might have seen on my channel and on Paul's podcast as well that me and Paul will be doing a couple of like mini collaborations around certain things.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be doing a lot more of these because they're super fun talking about productivity. So yeah, awesome. So today we're talking about morning routines. So we're going to pass over to Paul quickly, who's actually going to start with the concepts of morning routines and why people actually need them.
So yeah, I guess the way I view it is like your morning routine is the thing that is going to set you up for the rest of your day. And if you can spend a little bit of time, it doesn't have to be much at all, but if you can just spend a little bit of time in the morning, just getting yourself in the right mindset, preparing yourself for the day by taking a few simple steps, I think you can set yourself up for not just a more productive day, but just a happier, more rewarding, less stressful day, just by making a few simple changes to how you start your day. And I think that a lot of people will get up as late as possible. And I'm generally thinking about the work week. You know, they'll get up as late as possible to try and postpone having to get up to go to like a job that perhaps they don't enjoy, or to go to the gym, which maybe isn't that fun. And so they leave it to the last minute, and then they end up having to rush a little bit, and they don't take the time that they perhaps should to go through some of these important morning rituals that set them up for a kind of a more productive, happier day. And so yeah, I just feel that the morning routine is a great way to set yourself up for a great day, but it's also a great time to invest in yourself. I find a lot of people will talk about not having the time to do things, and I think it's not true. Like, if you can actually just get up an hour earlier and spend an hour doing something you really enjoy. So for me, it's getting up and writing for the blog, or working on my product that I'm working on at the moment, and it's stuff I really enjoy, and so I think it's a great time of the day to do that. And so for me personally, yeah, that's why I love morning routines. It sets me up for the day, and it gives me an opportunity to work on things that I enjoy.
Definitely. 100% agree with those points. So obviously morning routines are those kind of things that if you work it out, if you manage to explore it to an extreme, you can have really huge potentials from it. So I mean, this is something that I've explored recently, but I just want your opinion on this, Paul. Do you think that a morning routine is a balance between having an effective structure to the morning, but then also a motivation to actually do it? Do you think it's a bit of a balance between motivation and structure?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just in the word routine, that implies structure. And I know that, for example, Tim Ferriss on his podcast, he will always ask people, what does the first 90 minutes or 2 hours of your day look like? And I can't remember which book he wrote it in, or maybe it was on his podcast as well. He said the morning routine should be, you should be able to write down your routine on a piece of paper and give it to someone to copy and to replicate. And they should be able to follow it like point for point and completely replicate your morning routine. And one of the reasons for doing this is so that you can eliminate decision fatigue in the morning. And so that's the feeling you get, that's the thing that happens throughout the day. Every time you make a decision, every time you have to think about stuff and make a decision, you're actually spending mental energy. And so if you can systemize the first 90 minutes of your day, this structure, this routine, you can eliminate that decision fatigue. But absolutely, I think the motivation is important. And as I kind of touched on earlier, I think it is really important to get up for a reason that you care about. So if you perhaps work at a job that you don't enjoy, or maybe you're going to do something in your day that you're not really looking forward to, if you can get up a little bit earlier and do something you care about, even if it's just People who want to spend more time with their kids, get up. I mean, kids are always up early, and spend some more time with the kids and read them a book and hang out with them. And I think that motivation in particular is going to be what helps you to get up even earlier. So, we say get up a little earlier, get up an hour earlier, which might seem like a big ask for some people. They're like, oh my gosh, I need my beauty sleep. But actually, it's so much easier when you're getting up for a reason that you care about. And my alarm goes off at 4:50 in the morning, and I literally, I will wake up and I'm straight out of bed. There's no snoozing, and it's easy for me. It is easy because I've been doing it for a little while, and because I'm getting up for something that I care about. That motivation is present. So yeah, to answer your question, I think the motivation and the structure are both really important. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think adding to your points there, obviously you mentioned decision fatigue from Tim Ferriss, and that's quite interesting because obviously you don't want to waste your decision making abilities in the morning on the kind of simple stuff. So what he kind of recommends is actually to use those decision activity, those focus on bigger things throughout your day. So I guess you're almost banking up your good decision moves until later on in the day. So that's really, really important when looking at trying to fine-tune your morning routine. So I think it's perfect now to talk about your morning routine, Paul, and then we'll go into my one, and we'll see whether we can get some takeaways for people that can go away and action some of these smaller points inside the morning.
Sure. Yeah. So my routine, it has evolved slightly over the last couple of years. What it currently looks like is, my alarm goes off at 4:50 in the morning. I have a bottle of water next to my bed, and so as soon as I wake up, and it's just a sports bottle, so I can drink from my bottle straight away. And I think it's really important to hydrate as soon as you wake up because you've been sleeping for 8 hours and you need to get some water back in you. So I grab my water, I head straight to the bathroom, and I splash cold water on my face, and that does two things. It wakes me up, and especially because it's winter here in New Zealand at the moment, and so it's particularly cold, and it helps wake me up. And it gets the horrible sleep dust out of your eyes. So that's the other thing that it does. And so I go from the bathroom, I head to the. Oh, sorry, no, I missed a step. I'll actually backtrack a little bit. I wake up, I grab my bottle, have a drink. I get into my gym clothes. That is really important. And I think because I go to the gym most mornings, by putting on my gym clothes, I'm changing mental state. I'm putting on my gym clothes, and it's like saying, okay, I'm ready for action. And so I think it's nice to just make that mental shift in gears. You're going from a relaxed state into I'm ready. And then I head to the bathroom, do the water, head off to the kitchen, and I make a coffee. I use the AeroPress to make my coffee, and it's the best way I know of to make coffee is the AeroPress. And so that means I'm sitting down to do some work at about 4 o'clock. And then, I'll spend the next perhaps 50 minutes working on a task that I have already predetermined. So during my weekly review, which I do on a Sunday afternoon, I will look at the tasks and the jobs that I want to get done during the week, and I'll schedule time for those tasks, and I'll work out what I'm going to do each morning. And so I sit down, and I don't even need to think about what I'm going to do. I can just look at my calendar, and I use Sunrise. My Asana tasks are shown right inside Sunrise at the time slot that they're due, so I can just look at the task that I'm working on, and it varies. So at the moment, I'm working on my personal productivity toolkit. So I'm working on the expert interviews. I'm redrafting the book. I'm doing all these putting together these other resources and things. And so the work kind of varies. But I'll spend the next 50 minutes doing that work. I'll then head back to the kitchen, make another coffee for my wife Haley, because then she gets up. And at about 20 past 6, so I then kind of just get ready to leave, put my shoes on, brush my teeth. And then at about 10 past 6, I will head off to the gym, get to the gym for about 6:30-ish, actually 6:20, 6:25. And then from 6:20, 6:25 to 7, I'm working out. And then it's just shower at the gym and head straight to my day job. And I eat breakfast there. So I just generally take a couple of eggs and some bread with me, so I can do scrambled eggs at the office. And then I start work at about 7:30, so nice and bright and early, and people are still rolling in, tired, and it's great. You know, I've been up and I've started my day, and I've got energy because I've been to the gym, and that's pretty much the first couple of hours of my day. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, that's fantastic. I like how see, I'm not a morning person when it comes to activity. So what I'll do is I'll only work about 10% of my exercise in the morning. I won't go above that, and I'll explain why I do that. But it's really interesting how obviously you get to the change of state by just changing what you're wearing, and that's quite important. And I think when people do that, they almost make a conscious decision that they must do the next thing, which is go to the gym,
Yeah.
which is get in activity mode. So it's a really useful tip, even if you're late at night doing workouts. Actually, getting in the clothes first will kind of force you over to it. That's brilliant.
Totally. Yeah.
Awesome. So some notes from my morning routine. I've actually recently adapted my morning routine too. Obviously, I've moved, and I've broken them down into two styles of morning routine. One is called the short day, the short morning, and one's called the long morning. And I find this one useful. So on my long morning, I wake up between 4:30 and 5, and then start my day. If it's a long day, I wake up between 6 and 6:15. From there, what I'll do is I'll I won't get showered up because I showered the night before. I'm more of an evening person with my exercise. But what I'll do is I'll go downstairs, get some breakfast in me, and I'll focus on things like emails, those kind of really inactive tasks that you can get done really easily. And the good thing about doing emails at those kind of periods of time is that no one's going to reply because it's so early on in the morning. So that's a fantastic thing. So getting those emails cleared, the first half an hour actually wiped out just through emails. The next thing I want to do is actually have a meeting with myself. And this is 15 to 20 minute meeting with literally just breaking down what my targets are for the day, my full agenda and actions for the day as well, the kind of core tasks, not just kind of every little tiny thing. And then from there, what I'll do is I'll have a 10 to 20 minute exercise session. And this won't be going to the gym, but it will be doing press ups, sit ups, those kind of ones that you can do with no weights at home. But then if I'm free and the weights are available, I will do a couple of weights. So that's quite fun. Then about 6:40, I head towards my day job, and I listen to podcasts all the way to work, which is great. I probably listen to yours, Paul, on the way to work, so that's really good fun. Then I get to a cafe about 7, and what I'll do is I'll work from about 7 till 8 to 8:15, and then head over to my day job. And I'll usually focus on my personal brand or anything like that during that period of time, because it really does I don't know when you're doing work, Paul, it really does motivate you doing your own thing in the morning too, because it kind of kicks you towards your personal mission, but then also helps you work better at work too.
Yeah, absolutely. My morning, that block of time that I dedicate for work in the morning is like my favorite time of day. And like I said earlier, getting up to do something you care about is so exciting. And yeah, I just love spending that valuable time in the morning to do something I care about before I go and spend the rest of my mental energy at my day job. I can work on something really important for my website, for my blog, or for this product that I'm making, and get a really important task done and out of the way, so that when I start this job, I can kind of rest a little easier, knowing that one of my other really important tasks, even though it's unrelated to my work, this other task has been completed. So I can kind of just relax a little bit more, knowing that I've already achieved something, and it feels great, and it's a nice way to start the day.
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be quite important now to actually pull out some actions from this for other people watching this and actually going, okay, so how can I start a more effective routine, whether it's the small stuff between or the big stuff that they haven't changed. So Paul, could you pick 3 tips out of that kind of list that you have for your morning to just project to everyone else to take away?
Yeah, 3. That's going to be hard to limit it to 3. But I would say there are two books I'll recommend. I'm going to combine this into one. So the two books I would recommend, the first one, which really helped me and it definitely got me started on the whole morning routine thing, was What the Most Successful People Do Before Breakfast. That's by Laura Vanderkam. That's a really great book, and she just talks about, getting up early and the benefits and how you can spend this time and get more out of this time. That's the first one. The second book is called The Miracle Morning. It's by a guy called Hal Elrod, and he talks about how he actually suffered from depression, and he used his morning routine to just invest in himself and not actually do work, but just he would do these 6 activities to just give himself quality time. So it's things like meditating, which is actually something I do occasionally as well. Not every day, but occasionally I'll meditate. So it's things like meditating, reading, journaling, reciting affirmations, visualizing your goals, all these kind of nice self-help motivational exercises. So that's the other book I would recommend. So those 2 books. The second thing I would recommend is, if you are a night owl, don't feel like you have to get up early. I was speaking to Mike Vardy from The Productivityist on a recent podcast, and he's a very proud night owl. And he made a really good point, which is that, genetically, there are some people that are just wired to function better at night. So if you do work well at night, don't feel like you have to get up early. It's very easy for us to talk about, it's so productive to get up early, and it's a very popular opinion. But maybe give it a go. See if you can get up early. See if you like it. But don't fight your body clock. Do what feels best for you. So that would be the second tip. And if you are going to give the whole morning routine thing a go, I would say, firstly, don't try and make too big a changes in one go. So if you currently wake up at 7, don't try and get up at 5, because that's going to be quite a big change. Go from 7 to 6:30 or 6. And then when you're comfortable with that, then you could migrate even a little earlier if you want. So just make sure that the changes you make are sustainable, nice and short, smaller changes in the beginning, which you can sustain. And finally, I'm going to squeeze in a bonus tip, which is to just plan your morning routine ahead of time. So just have a clear idea of what you want to do, whether that is going through your email or working on a specific task on your to-do list, or just spending some time reading 10 pages from a book, or meditating, or anything. Just have some sort of agenda going into your morning routine, so that when your alarm goes off, you've got this list in your mind of, these are the things I'm going to do, and they're things that are really going to excite you. And so when your alarm goes off, there's no motivation to hit snooze. You're like, cool, I've got to get up because I'm going to go and do these 3 or 5 things, and they're really exciting. So yeah, those would be my tips.
Yeah, definitely, they're fantastic. I think it's really important for people to understand. Obviously, you can be that night owl if you like. You can be that late night person. I mean, I think for a couple of years I was a late night person, more than I was a morning person. But I think, as well as that, I think you need to be able to adapt to your morning routine. Your morning routine will change dramatically from periods of time in your life, but also it will react to other situations around you. So things that will happen throughout your day, and things like exercise. So you just need to be adaptable to your morning routine and let it kind of flow really nicely. Like just one other tip that I want to add to Paul's tips that he said earlier, and that I do also, is drinking water as soon as you get out of bed. I highly recommend it. Paul recommends it. I think it's just almost like it reawakens you in your brain, and I don't think it takes about like 10 to 20 minutes to actually kick in, but it can really help your day start really, really nicely. So I do recommend grabbing some water as soon as you get up, and also doing, whether it is that small bit of exercise or that larger bit of exercise in the morning, because it does help your energy kind of get there in the morning. So definitely worth trying those tips out. Fantastic, awesome. I think we've covered most things about morning routine, and I think, Paul, we need to do a evening routine as well. I don't see many of them out on the productivity radar.
Yeah, I'll have to have a bit of a think about that one, how I manage my evening routine. Yeah, and how to get the most out of it. But sure, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, awesome. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for watching this YouTube video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend following Paul on Twitter @PaulMiners, but also going over to his blog and podcast. So soon what I'll be doing is I'll be creating a video about those top 10 productivity slash business product podcasts and channels out there. And I will be recommending Paul because, I mean, I'm continually going into his site to work out how to improve my blog, as well as also to get some fantastic productivity tips. So it's paulminers.com.
That's it.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Paul, for coming along today.
Thank you for having me. It was good fun.
Yeah, it was really good fun. And we'll be sure to do some more videos in the future. Perfect. All right. Thanks, everyone. Make sure to have a great week and keep productive. Cheers.